Hey, good to see you. How's your English study going?
Honestly, not great. I'm so frustrated. I've been studying for 2 years and I still can't have a real conversation.
2 years? Wow. What have you been studying?
Everything grammar books, vocabulary lists, apps. I know like 3,000 words. But when someone talks to me in English, my mind goes blank. I freeze.
Okay, I'm going to tell you something that's going to change everything. Are you ready?
Sure, what is it?
You don't need 3,000 words. You need 5 phrases.
What? 5 phrases? That's it?
That's it. 5 phrases. I'm serious.
I don't understand. How can 5 phrases replace 3,000 words?
See? You just used one of them.
What do you mean?
You just said, I don't understand. That's phrase number 2 on my list. And it's one of the most powerful phrases in English.
Wait, really? Can you explain?
And that's phrase number 5. Can you explain? You're already using them naturally.
Okay. So, what are the 5 phrases, like officially?
Okay, here they are. Phrase 1. Can you help me with? Phrase 2. I don't understand. Phrase 3. What does that mean? Phrase 4. Tell me more. And phrase 5. Can you explain?
That's really it? Those five?
That's really it. Those 5 phrases can handle 90% of real conversations.
I don't understand. How? They're so simple.
That's exactly why they work. Think about it. What's the biggest problem when you talk to a native speaker?
I don't understand what they're saying. They talk too fast. They use words I don't know.
Right. And what do you do when that happens?
Honestly, I panic. I just nod and pretend I understand, and then the conversation dies because I have nothing to say.
Exactly. That's the problem. You pretend. But what if, instead of pretending, you just said, I don't understand?
Wouldn't that be embarrassing? Like, wouldn't they think my English is bad?
No, that's the biggest myth in language learning. Native speakers say, I don't understand all the time to each other in their own language.
Wait, what does that mean? Native speakers don't understand each other?
Of course. Think about your own language. When your friend explains something complicated, do you always understand immediately?
No, actually. No, I asked them to repeat or explain differently.
Exactly. So, why do you think English has to be different? Communication isn't about understanding everything perfectly the first time. It's about asking questions until you understand.
Huh, I never thought about it that way. Tell me more about how this works.
Okay, let's do an experiment. I'm going to talk about something you probably don't know about, and you can only respond using the 5 phrases. Ready?
Okay, I'm nervous, but okay.
Don't be nervous. Here we go. So, I've been really into fermentation lately.
What does that mean, fermentation?
Perfect. See how natural that was? Fermentation is a process where bacteria or yeast transform food, like it changes the food into something new.
I don't understand. Bacteria? Isn't bacteria bad? Like dangerous?
Great question. Some bacteria is bad, yes, but some bacteria is actually good for you. Good bacteria transforms food in a healthy way.
Can you explain, like, what food?
Sure, yogurt is fermented milk. Cheese is fermented milk too. Bread uses fermentation. Kimchi, by Korean food, is fermented cabbage.
Wait, yogurt is fermented? Tell me more.
Yeah, so you take milk, you add good bacteria, and you wait. The bacteria eats the sugar in the milk and changes it. After some hours, the milk becomes thick and a little sour. That's yogurt.
That's actually really interesting. So the bacteria eats the sugar. What does that mean exactly?
The bacteria uses the sugar as food, as energy, and when it does that, it produces acid. The acid makes the milk thick and gives it that sour taste.
Can you help me understand something? Why doesn't the yogurt make you sick if it has bacteria in it?
Because it's the good kind of bacteria. Your stomach actually has billions of bacteria living in it right now. Good bacteria. They help you digest food.
Wait, what? I have bacteria in my stomach right now?
Billions of them. They're called gut bacteria. And eating fermented food like yogurt actually adds more good bacteria to your stomach. It's healthy.
I don't understand. So eating bacteria is good for me.
The good kind, yes. That's why doctors say yogurt is healthy. It's not just the protein and calcium, it's the good bacteria.
Okay, wait, stop. Do you realize what just happened?
What?
We just had a whole conversation about fermentation, bacteria, yogurt, science stuff. And I don't know anything about this topic, but I understood everything.
Exactly. That's the point. You used the 5 phrases and the conversation just worked.
That's crazy. I didn't freeze. I didn't panic. I just asked questions.
And how did it feel?
Honestly, it felt natural. It felt like a real conversation. Like I was actually participating, not just surviving.
That's the secret. Conversation isn't a test. It's not about proving how much you know. It's about exchanging information. And these 5 phrases are the tools for that exchange.
Okay, but I have a question. Can you help me with something?
Of course. And by the way, that's phrase number 1. You're a natural.
Okay, so my question is, what if the other person gets annoyed? Like, if I keep asking, what does that mean over and over, won't they get tired of me?
That's a great fear to talk about. Here's the truth. People love explaining things.
What? I don't understand. Why would they love it?
Think about it. When someone asks you to explain something you know about, how do you feel?
Actually, kind of good. Like, I feel smart. I feel useful.
Exactly. When you ask someone, can you explain, you're giving them a gift. You're saying, you know something I don't, and I want to learn from you. People love that feeling.
Huh. So asking questions isn't annoying. It's actually a compliment.
In most cases, yes. Obviously, don't interrupt every 3 seconds, but asking genuine questions, that makes conversations better, not worse.
Tell me more about this. Like, how do natives use these phrases?
Okay, great question. Let me give you examples from my own life. Yesterday, I was in a work meeting. My boss used a business term I didn't know. You know what I said?
What?
Sorry, what does that mean? In front of everyone, in front of the whole team.
Really? And what happened?
He explained it. 2 other people in the meeting said they didn't know the term either. They were happy I asked.
Wow. So even at work with your boss, you just ask.
All the time. Here's another example. Last week, my friend was explaining her new job, something with data science. I understood maybe half of it, so I kept saying, tell me more, and can you explain that part? And she didn't
Mind.
mind. She talked for an hour. She was so happy someone was interested. By the end, I actually understood what a data scientist does, and she felt heard and appreciated. Everybody wins.
This is changing how I think about conversation. Like, completely.
Good, because here's the thing most English learners get wrong. They think conversation is about output, about speaking perfectly, long, beautiful sentences with advanced vocabulary.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. That's why I memorized all those words.
But real conversation is about connection, and connection happens through questions, through curiosity, through saying, I don't understand, but I want to.
Okay, can you help me with a plan? Like, how do I practice this?
Yes, here's your homework. For the next week, every conversation you have in English, use these 5 phrases at least once each.
Every conversation. What if I don't have anyone to talk to?
Do you watch YouTube videos in English?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay, when you watch and you don't understand something, pause the video and say out loud, what does that mean? Then look it up. You're training the habit.
That's smart. What else?
Do you have language exchange apps or online tutors?
I have a language exchange app, but I never message anyone because I don't know what to say.
Now you do. Your first message can be, "Can you help me with my English?" That's it. That's the opening.
Wow, that's so simple. I've been staring at that app for months trying to write the perfect first message.
And the perfect message was 5 words long. "Can you help me with" works everywhere. At a store, "Can you help me with finding this?" At work, "Can you help me with this report?" With friends, "Can you help me with my pronunciation?"
I'm starting to see the pattern. These phrases are like keys, they open doors.
That's a beautiful way to put it. They're keys. And here's the best part: behind every door is more English. Every time you say, "Tell me more," the other person gives you more vocabulary, more grammar, more examples for free.
Wait, I don't understand. Say that again?
Think about it. When you ask, "Can you explain?" what does the person do?
They explain. They say it differently, simpler.
Right. They give you the same information in new words, simpler words, with examples. That's a free English lesson inside a normal conversation.
Oh my God. So every conversation becomes a lesson, and I don't even need a teacher.
Every native speaker becomes your teacher, and they don't even know they're teaching. They just think they're having a nice conversation with a curious person.
This is blowing my mind. Okay, one more question. What about my grammar mistakes? When I speak, I make so many mistakes. Doesn't that ruin everything?
Let me answer with a question. In our conversation right now, did I care about your grammar?
I don't know. Did you notice my mistakes?
Honestly, I noticed maybe 2 small ones and I forgot them immediately because I was focused on what you were saying, not how you were saying it.
Really? That's it?
That's how everyone listens. People listen for meaning, not for mistakes. Only teachers and tests focus on mistakes. Real people focus on the conversation.
So all this time, I've been afraid of something that doesn't really matter?
It matters a little, but way, way less than you think. A person who makes mistakes but asks great questions is a better conversation partner than a person with perfect grammar who says nothing.
Can you explain that more? Why is the question person better?
Because conversation is a game of tennis. You hit the ball, I hit it back. Questions keep the ball moving. Perfect grammar with no questions, the ball just stops. The game ends.
And the 5 phrases keep the ball in the air.
Forever. You can keep any conversation alive with just those 5 phrases. Watch. Ask me anything using one of them.
Okay, tell me more about how you learned all this.
Great. So I learned this when I was studying Spanish. I had the same problem as you. Tons of vocabulary, zero conversations. Then I met this old man in Spain who spoke no English, and I was forced to communicate with my broken Spanish.
What happened?
I survived using basically 5 phrases, the Spanish versions of these exact phrases. No entiendo, I don't understand. ¿Qué significa? What does that mean? ¿Puede explicar? Can you explain?
And it worked with just those?
We talked for 2 hours about his farm, his family, his life. B with maybe 200 Spanish words because every time I got lost, I just asked, and he explained. Slower, simpler, with hand gestures.
That's an amazing story. So this method works for any language.
Any language, any level, any situation. Because it's not really about language, it's about communication. And communication is universal.
Okay, I'm convinced. Let me make sure I remember them. Can you help me review?
Of course. What's phrase number 1?
Can you help me with? For starting conversations and asking for assistance.
Perfect. Number 2?
I don't understand. For being honest instead of pretending.
Yes. Number 3?
What does that mean? For new words and confusing things.
Number 4.
Tell me more. For keeping the conversation going, for showing interest.
And number 5.
Can you explain? For getting a simpler version, a free English lesson.
You've got it. All 5. That's your toolkit.
You know what's funny? This whole conversation, I understood everything, and I talked more than I have in any English conversation ever, and I wasn't scared.
And why do you think that is?
Because every time I got confused, I had a tool. I had a phrase ready. I was never stuck.
That's the feeling. That's what these 5 phrases give you. Not perfect English, something better, confidence. The knowledge that you can never truly get lost because you can always ask your way out.
Ask your way out. I love that. Can I use that?
It's yours. So, what's your plan for this week?
Okay, first, I'm going to message someone on my language exchange app, starting with, "Can you help me with my English?"
Perfect. What else?
When I watch English videos, I'll pause and actually ask, "What does that mean?" instead of just skipping the parts I don't understand.
Excellent. And?
And in every conversation, I'll stop pretending to understand. I'll use "I don't understand" like a normal, honest human being.
I'm proud of you. 1 week from now, tell me how it goes, okay?
Deal. And thank you, seriously. 2 years of studying and this 20-minute conversation taught me more than all of it.
That's because you didn't study today. You communicated. There's a difference.
Tell me more about that difference. Just kidding. I got it. I really got it.
Perfect use of phrase number 4. Okay, go practice. And remember, 5 phrases. That's all you need.
5 phrases.
I don't
know how I lived without them.
And that's the perfect way to end this conversation. See you next week.
See you. Thank you.